Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah. Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah. Alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. We're continuing with the topic of Khushoo during the prayer. So far, everyone here at this website should understand that Khushoo means to have focus, to have attentiveness, concentration, and humility as you stand before Allah to pray. It means to imagine that even though you cannot see Allah, that He sees you. And the fact that He sees you means that you'll be more conscious of what you say, more conscious of what you do as you open up this conversation between you and He, known as Salat. Okay? We also talked yesterday about how having Khushoo is an obligation. And there's many hadiths to prove it. We went over some today for the quiz. The hadith, especially where the Prophet ﷺ said, some of us will walk away with 1/3 of the reward of the prayer. Some will have 1/4, and some will have no reward at all, based on your Khushoo, your concentration, your focus. And this is why the Prophet put into effect those other hadiths where he tells us to not look around during the prayer like a fox, not to peck like a crow on the ground, to not pick with your clothes and titter around. You want to stay focused. Don't allow your personal jinn to distract you during the prayer. And then today what we're going to do is talk about how there are some things that we can do before we even pray that will help to develop and to strengthen your Khushoo. Okay? All right. First of all, making wudu. If you take the time to perform your wudu properly, including the sunans, such as saying Bismillah before you make wudu and reciting the shahada after it, this can help to strengthen your concentration. And again, we don't have to say the duaa of shahada or these things, but we do them because they can help develop and open up your concentration. Also, brushing your teeth. Now, everyone knows we do not have to brush our teeth when we make wudu. But the Prophet used to brush his teeth because it would prepare and clean the mouth. The Prophet ﷺ said, purify your mouths before you recite the words of Allah. So these are two things that we can do before the prayer that can help to strengthen your concentration. And I want you guys to try doing these things today. The next time you pray, try doing these things. Say Bismillah before you make wudu. And then recite the shahada after you make wudu. And then after you're done making wudu, brush your teeth. See if these things won't help to strengthen your concentration. Also, another thing you can do before the prayer that will help to strengthen your focus is make sure that your clothing, whatever you're wearing, is clean. Okay? Allah tells us in the Quran, in the interpretation, the meaning, O children of Adam, take your adornment, wear your clean clothes while praying. So you want to make sure that whatever you're going to pray in is clean. And for you sisters out there, I highly recommend that you buy a praying garment. There's you can order them off the internet. Most Islamic clothing stores sell them. It's just one big thing that you put on that covers your whole body, or it could be a hijab. I have one that I got from Saudi Arabia. It's one hijab that goes all the way down to the ground. I just simply put my head in through the hole, and it covers, throw it over my pajamas. It covers my whole body. That way it's making sure that my body is covered, and also it's clean because I keep it hung up in the closet. So if I'm cooking or something, throw it on over my clothes and make salah. And remember, guys, Allah loves cleanliness. Allah loves good smells. This is another reason why the Prophet would brush his teeth before he prayed, because he didn't want to talk to Allah with bad breath. Okay? Because again, if you imagine someone watching you, what does it do? It makes you more conscious of yourself. I don't want that person to smell my breath. I don't want that person to look at me and I'm dirty and nasty, or I'm not dressed properly. So if you imagine someone's watching you, it makes you more conscious. So you will make sure that your appearance is good. Okay, so again, this is another thing we can do that will help to strengthen and develop our concentration. Make sure that the clothing that you're praying in is clean, pleasant smelling, and all of that. Okay? Also, for you brothers who are at the Masjid, there are things that you brothers can do to prepare your Khushoo before you pray, such as when the athan is being called, repeat the words of the athan after the caller. And also, when the athan is completed, recite the supplication that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, where you are saying, O Allah, Lord of this perfect call and the prayer to be offered, grant the Prophet Muhammad the privilege of interceding and also the eminence, and resurrect him to the praised position that you have promised. You can recite that supplication in Arabic, or you can recite the interpretation, the meaning, as I did in English. Because I find when you are aware, you know what you're saying, that helps to develop your Khushoo. Okay? The Prophet taught us how to say it in Arabic. And if you're going to say it in Arabic, I want you to ponder what you're saying in English. And this is the meaning of what that duaa is in English. When you ponder the meaning of something, it helps develop your focus. Okay? Also, if you're praying at the mosque, you brothers, your Khushoo is strengthened if you're standing properly. We're supposed to stand shoulder to shoulder and ankle to ankle, closing the gaps that will keep shaytan from coming to distract you. This is why we do the sunans of the prayer. We do the sunans of the prayer because they help to keep your personal jinn in check so he can't distract you. But closing the gaps is not a sunan. Closing the gaps is an obligation. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, align your shoulders, close the gaps, yield your hands to your brothers. Do not leave any gaps for shaytan. Whoever connects a line, Allah will maintain him. And whoever breaks a line, Allah will cut him off. That hadith is the proof that standing properly is an obligation. So you brothers, when you're at the mosque, you got to line up like you see in the picture here. These men are standing shoulder to shoulder, ankle to ankle, closing the gap so that their personal jinn can't break in to try to distract them. Okay? So again, these are just a few things that we can do before the prayer. And again, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us these things. Like I told you during the quiz, Allah commands us in the Quran to have Khushoo when we stand before Him. But you're not going to know how to do that unless you learn the hadiths. That's why some of you had a hard time with the quiz today, because you couldn't find nothing in the Quran. Nothing in the Quran to explain how to do it, because you didn't know the hadiths. So we have to learn the hadiths. The hadiths are the things the Prophet Muhammad said and did. In order for your deeds to be accepted, they have to be done the way Allah commanded. You're not going to know how to do it until you learn the hadiths. The hadiths tell us no fidgeting, no moving around, no looking around during the prayer, no allowing shaytan to distract you, no leaving the gaps open. So you have to learn the hadiths in order to practice this religion properly. Okay? So thus, for today, we learned that by performing the wudu properly and including the sunans, such as saying Bismillah before and the Shahada after, and brushing your teeth after, will help to strengthen and develop your concentration. Also making sure your clothing is good, making sure that your clothing is clean, making sure that the area in which you're going to pray in is clean. And if you're praying at the mosque or you're praying with other people, repeat the athan after the caller. Recite the supplication after the athan. And make sure you're standing close to the people, shoulder to shoulder, ankle to ankle. And we'll stop right here for today. Tomorrow, what I'm going to do is speak about some things you can do during the prayer. During the prayer. That will help to strengthen your concentration. And I want you guys, again, for your homework today, put these things in use. The next time you make salat, try doing the things that we talked about and see. I want you to tell me tomorrow if it didn't aid in your concentration. So we'll stop right here. If you Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah. Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah.